Coming up right now on A Moment of Wisdom, reality television can make you a star and it can put your whole life up for a vote. This time on A Moment of Wisdom, two women who lived it, left it, and then they had to figure out who they were on the other side of those cameras. Plus a stop in the vault for a couple of brothers who turned the family living room into a stage.
I'm not going to just do anything somebody tells me to do.
Right.
Even with the cast members, like if you're not the boss of me, you're not the leader. I've been around longer than you have, you know, and I have a lot of wisdom.
Welcome to A Moment of Wisdom. I'm Wisdom Martin. Now, we spend a lot of time on this show talking to people about the version of themselves that the world thinks that they know and the version they actually live with. My next two guests built friendships and a following in front of the reality TV cameras. One is a singer chasing a brand new sound. The other traded the spotlight for a consulting business and a life of giving back. Let's get into it. All right, ladies, let's talk about, first of all, what you have going on individually before we get into all these other things. All right, Joi, you're singing.
Yeah, that's
as you've been doing for your whole career. So tell me the latest, what's going on with your music?
Okay, I am working on some solo music. Definitely going into the rock genre, which I'm really excited about. So I have a lot of powerful stuff on my chest that I can't wait to get.
All right, okay.
But I'm also getting into acting.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about two projects. I can't really say a lot, but one is a micro series and another is, I would say a feature film.
Why are we going into rock now? Why now?
I've always been a rock star. I kind of wanted to be like the new age Tina Turner.
Really?
You know, she can't.
Wait, you got some heels? Oh yeah, you got big heels.
Listen, look at the hair. Look at the hair. You don't see the hair. Look at the hair.
I got you. Okay.
And you know, Tina got into rock, you know, really late in life. But it's always been in my soul. It's always been my voice. That's really where I thrive, honestly.
Your turn.
All right now.
You do a lot of TV.
I do. But life after reality.
So tell me what you have going on now. What's life after reality TV for you?
So it's been a pivot. So I started my own consulting company. I do a lot of consulting in Prince George's County. And my husband and I are really big in the community, giving back. We do food drives, we do diaper drives. We're still doing hosting and appearances. So life is great.
Still ahead on A Moment of Wisdom, what really happens when the producers are in your ear, and the one thing both of these women refuse to fake. Plus a trip to the vault with two brothers who turned the family living room into a stage. We're right back. Welcome back to A Moment of Wisdom. Before the break, Joi Carter and Erana Tyler told us where life is taking them now. So let's rewind the cameras and talk about what it actually felt like to live a life that the rest of us only watched. Let's get into it. So when life was reality TV, what was that experience like? Because we know we watch reality TV, we see how they dig, and we also see how they edit and put things out there. What was that experience like for both of you? I got you. Okay.
Well, I have to say my experience with Tyler's was always great. You know, good energy, good vibes, you know, everyone being very authentic. I think everything else, I think it was, you know, you're putting people together who aren't necessarily friends and don't know each other in real life, and that's not a realistic situation, you know. However, if people were entertained, I just want to say thank you for watching.
Because at the end of the day, it is about entertainment.
It is, but the entertainment wasn't scripted, and I think that's something that we kind of have to make really clear with the show. You may have a question put into the atmosphere, but your reaction and how you react to it is all you.
Being authentically ourselves. I didn't have any issues with myself as far as my character. You know, people say your character on the show. The only thing is Joi and I built this amazing, fun relationship, friendship, and I guess it was some cast members who just didn't like us getting so close on the show, which caused a lot of friction between really all of us.
Yeah.
So I can't just say it was all on you, but I got it too.
How do you deal with something like that though, when you're trying to be your authentic self, and then this other element comes into the room, the anger, the pettiness, the jealousy, all these other things that come into the equation. How do you stay true to yourself and navigate all of that in front of a camera with producers in your ear, telling you what's coming next?
I would say the producers will try to tell us to say certain things and do certain things, but again, you got to stay true to yourself.
Right.
And if you don't want to do those things, and if you don't want to say those things, and you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to do it.
Right.
I am the eldest on the show, my husband and I, and of course I'm not going to just do anything somebody tells me to do.
Right.
Even with the cast members, like if you're not the boss of me, you're not the leader. I've been around longer than you have, you know, and I have a lot of wisdom.
A lot of wisdom.
A lot of wisdom.
I like that. Yes, I like that. Lots and lots of wisdom. All right, so Joi, same question to you. How did you navigate all of that?
Well, okay, so I have to be very honest. And people can take this how you want.
Okay.
I love traditional medicinals. I am a chieftain, and that really helped. Definitely coming into the scenes. So it allowed me to really, in a sense, think before I spoke.
Right. Okay.
So I was always very mentally calm going into.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I understand. Very nicely put. So your relationship, though, I mean, did y'all know each other before any of this started? Did you know each other at all?
No. So you were doing Ready to Love.
Yeah.
And of course, I was in season 1 of Love and Marriage DC. And we met after the first season of Love and Marriage DC, and after you were off of Ready to Love.
Yeah. So when I came back from Mexico, that's when,
And of course, we wanted to pitch Joi and Clifton to be on the show, so we kind of built, a friendship based off of, hey, you guys will be great for the show.
And every time I look up your inner side, I'm jealous too. So how did that come to be? How did you decide, okay, not only am I going to make music, I do a little TV here and there, but I'm going to live where the sun is always shining?
Well, Mexico's always been, let me say, since 2013, I've been going back and forth to Mexico. And that was something I even said on Ready to Love. Like, I'm in Mexico 6 months out of the year. How do you feel about that? And so prior to actually getting into a relationship, I was in the process of making Mexico my home. Well, got into a relationship, got married, life's, and, now life is what it is, and now the opportunity presented itself. I was like, you know what, let me get back on track, as far as my alignment where I wanted to be in the first place.
And you perform there as well, so you're not just, you do the singing and concerts and shows and everything in Mexico while you're there.
Yes.
What is that experience like?
Well, it's like being here, like it's like home, it's family. A lot of people I've known throughout the years are still there, still working, and so I'm excited about that. I have a new show that's going to be coming to Coco Cabaret. If anybody knows about Puerto Vallarta, Coco Cabaret in the Palm, that's like the premier entertainment, and it is a Prince show that's going to start in October.
A Prince show?
A Prince show.
Wow. In your life with your husband, with Jamie, what's that like? Because I know you got the family dynamic going on as well, so I saw some of that on TV.
Yes.
And so you still have to be a parent at the end of the day.
I do, and I love my children. They're grown children. So the oldest is 35.
Right.
Little Jamie, who's our middle son that you've seen on the show, who was just giving us all kinds of issues at that time. He's doing amazing now. He'll be turning 30.
Okay.
And he has a career now. He's working. He has benefits. He's doing. I just can't say enough because
Love it.
when I say he took us through so much, as you can see it played out on the show, and I'm just so glad now that he's doing such a great job. And I tell him all the time that I'm so super proud of him.
Right. Any regrets about doing any television, putting your personal business out there on any of these television platforms or anywhere?
Absolutely not.
No regrets?
No, none.
None?
None for me either. It has its pros and cons, but the pros were the Tyler's family dynamic, of course, and just, people can really relate to our family, especially with the grown kids, and everyone had a storyline. So it wasn't just Jamie and I having a storyline, putting our marriage out there, 30 years of marriage, ups and downs, everything. We gave them everything.
When was the last time you bet on yourself? Not when it was safe, not when the timing was perfect, but when it was scary, uncertain, and the only thing pushing you forward was the quiet voice inside saying, this is not all there is for me. Now, I had a chance to interview Oscar winner Ruthie Carter, who is the first and only African-American woman to win an Oscar for Best Costume Design for Marvel's Black Panther. Now, when she was at Hampton University as a freshman, there was no costume design program. She didn't let that stop her. She created her own program. Well, now she has 2 Oscars for costume design. She had a passion and a belief in herself. She didn't change her major. She didn't transfer. She simply started from scratch and created something that she loved. Big picture here. Some people spend decades building a career in one place, giving their best, showing up every single day, and then one day they wake up and realize that chapter is complete. I have a saying, one of my favorites, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And sometimes you have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to pivot, you have to adjust, you have to get creative, build something new. There are no guarantees, only a vision and a willingness to work. That is not reckless, that is wisdom. And that is your words of wisdom. 2 artists, 1 truth. The realest thing that you can put on camera is yourself. That made me think about a conversation from our archives. 2 brothers who've always just been themselves. They're being who they always wanted to be. So let's open up the vault. Actor Kevin Bacon, you know him from the movies, but he and his brother, Michael, have been making music together since they were kids in Philadelphia. Now, when I sat down with the Bacon brothers, I wanted to know what keeps 2 siblings on the same stage. And here's what they told me.
When it comes to songwriting, you really don't. It's really hard to. I wish I could bottle where the songwriting piece of it comes from, because then you just go there and write a song every day. Neither one of us are songwriters who carve out an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours every day and say, I just got to write something. So where it comes from, I don't know. Sometimes it's an experience that you have that's like super personal. It's a mood. It's something you see, something you read about, a line in a book. Sometimes for me, it comes from listening to a great song. Like if I hear a great song, sometimes I'll go, okay, I don't want to try to write that song. You know what I mean? But I want to try to write something, because both of us really, really love songs, great songs. And when it comes to what we call the first record, Foro Soko, folk rock soul country, it was kind of a joke as to, this combination. I would point out that my favorite record right now is the ultimate Foro Soko, and that is Cowboy Carter. Beyonce's new record is folk rock soul country, like in such a great way. And if there's a section in the record store for Foro Soko, they definitely have a Bacon Brothers record and Cowboy Carter next to each other. We
only took 50 years.
Yeah, we're not married to one sort of thing. We don't just say, okay, the song's gotta sound like this. And I think that, I think it's exciting that, an artist with the kind of reach that she has is really kind of embracing that idea,
That's cool. I would say my favorite songs that I've ever written were just things where I'm just bored and I have my guitar and I pick it up and I play and I put it down, come back an hour later, pick it up, play, and all of a sudden, the 5th time, something happens. And as Kevin, I think, described it very well, you can't buy that spot. You can't make it happen.
What do you hope they take away from listening to your music and seeing your show? And this latest project that you're working on, Ballad of Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not a cover band. We're a songwriting band, and so really our whole show and our record is all about, okay, here's an experience that we had, or here's an idea that we had, or as Michael pointed out, here's something that we got together with some other writers and wrote. We're going to put this song across for you, and you see how you respond to the song. I mean, I think that we have an amazing band. So, even if you don't like the songs, or you like some better than others, the musicianship of the group is really strong, and there's a wide variety of stuff that's being played, because some things are, pretty much just acoustic guitars and a little bit of mandolin and vocals, and some things are full on rock songs, and there's cello, and there's auto harp, and there's electric guitars and acoustic guitars and drums and percussion and harmonicas, and there's like a whole bunch. It's like a music store up there. So I think there's going to be a lot of variety, and we'd like to have a good time, and we hope that there's something for everybody.
Okay. All right. Michael, you want to add to that?
I think when people come to hear us, they are kind of intrigued that two people in the same family are on stage playing and singing songs they wrote. The best shows to me are when I feel no scrim between me and the audience, where it just feels like we're just in our living room, with our four sisters and our families, and we're just, drinking a beer and passing the guitar around. And when that feels that way, that's a really good feeling. So I try to make it that way every night. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't.
Michael, you're an Emmy Award-winning composer. Kevin, you're an A-list actor. You're on that stage, both very creative, and it talks about on your website about the highlights that make you guys work as a team and the differences as well. So talk real quick before we run out of time a little bit about that.
We come from the same, DNA, right? We have the same parents, so there's a lot of things that are common. And some basic core, I think, values that our parents kind of instilled in us of respect and I don't know, compassion, just to name a few, honesty. But we're also super, super different. For one thing, there's 9 years between us, and that's enough of a gap to have a really different kind of life experience and a different relationship to our parents and to our family and the whole thing, and also to music. And so I think that creates a certain good kind of creative tension. I mean, I'll often joke that if I want to know what Michael's going to order for dinner, I go to the restaurant and I pick the thing that I would be the least likely to get on the menu. And there's a lot of things that we have differing opinions about, but there's this kind of core bond that I think carries over to the show and to the music.
One of the things musically is when I was in my let's say, late teens, the world blew up, 1965. I mean, and Kevin at that point was a little kid, and his musical experience was very different than mine because the whole world changed so much musically, and then the British invasion. So also the other thing is our parents had already had 5 children they'd raised, and all of a sudden Kevin comes along and they're like, whatever. So I think that he probably had a little more freedom to use Philadelphia as a real nest for his musical ideas.
Both of you. I'll give both of you the last word on the concert, your music, your new album.
We love the Birchmere. We played there, I don't know. I think we played there more than we've played anywhere else. It's a great, great venue. The sound is fantastic. We always love playing there.
I love going to the museums. I love Alexandria. And as Kevin says, it's probably the best club.
Whether it's a reality set or a living room stage, that's the whole game. More of a moment of wisdom in a moment. Welcome back. We've talked about the fun, the music, the family. Before I let Joi Carter and Erana Tyler go, I wanted to know about the weight, the part of all this that's actually hard. Here's more of my conversation with Joi and Erana. What is the most challenging thing you've had to deal with in your life as an adult at this point? Whether it's the show, whether it's the singing, whether it's anything.
I think the challenge is especially now, knowing that your life, even though reality TV is, in a sense, you know, it's not happening right now, it's over, your life is still someone else's reality on social media. Like it still kind of goes on.
Right. Okay.
Same thing with us, putting our marriage out there for the world to see, and people criticizing and having their own opinions on our marriage. People who don't know us, you know, based off a 45-second or 45-minute clip episode, you know, because they kind of painted Jamie as a husband abuser. They were saying that, you know, he was too aggressive, and that's not true. And alcoholic, they mentioned, you know, he was, and that's not true. We had cast members who drank Jamie under the chair or whatever you call it, and he's by far, if you know, people who know Jamie personally, they know he's nothing of a husband abuser or anything like that. He's always been respectful of me, his family, his kids. He's an amazing husband. So that was just the worst thing that I could hear, you know, and you hate to see people say things like that about your family, you know, on social media. So like the social media is just like, was a real challenge for me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, because I don't want to leave that bad taste in anybody's mouth, I want y'all to give me something as we close out. I always like to leave on something positive. So give me something positive to close it out on. It could be anything in your life. Give me something positive or some words of encouragement for someone who might see some of the challenges that you two ladies have faced in your lives, any part of your lives. Give me some words of encouragement for them if they're watching this. Anything.
Continue to lead with love. Period.
Period.
Because if you do not, karma is a mother.
Okay.
I would say, don't let anyone change who you are. And I will also say, keep striving for what you want in life. If you have to pivot, because I had to, you know, it's okay. You know, just keep your eyes on the prize, keep focused, stay focused, and, you know, keep pushing till you get there, until you win, until you succeed.
Whether the cameras are rolling or they're packed up and gone home, the people who last are the ones who stay themselves through all of it. Joi Carter chasing the sound that's always been in her soul. Erana Tyler building something brand new and giving it back to her community. Two brothers who just want you in the living room with them. That's the moment. That's the wisdom. I'm Wisdom Martin. Keep showing up, keep leading, and remember, the world needs your story.